You know, you forget. You just forget how absolutely wonderful that moment was when you came on stage. Now, you looked incredibly nervous, and obviously it would be. But is it true that when you actually decided to go forward and audition for Britain's Got Talent, it actually came at such a difficult time for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a very strange period of my life.
Yeah.
I'd just transferred schools for sixth form. I'd gotten a scholarship for music to a private school. So that wasn't exactly for me in the end, it turned out. And yeah, I had an incredibly tough time dealing with it. So, yeah.
Is this where some of the bullying took place?
I mean, that was more in and throughout school.
Yeah.
I found that a lot, actually going to the private school, some people were slightly more mature than that.
Yeah.
But the way that it was regimented and the way that it was, yeah, very, very quite strict. I mean, they wanted me to cut my hair or tie it back, which I quite like my hair.
Yes, you've got great hair.
Well,
Don't let anybody tell you any different.
One of the few
but Jonathan,
features.
one of the reasons I sort of bring it up is the fact that to do what you did and to stand on stage and perform so beautifully is an incredibly difficult thing to do when you're feeling full of confidence anyway. But the fact that you did it from a low point shows how incredible you are.
Oh, well,
you're an incredible
thank you.
person. You really are.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I really do.
So do you think the saying is true? We were talking about it earlier about when you're down and depressed. Do you think it is down to you to push yourself to get out there and do it no matter how bad you're feeling? Did that help you, or...?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was particularly weird because at the time I felt like, what did I have to lose? I felt like, you know, if I'm already at the very bottom,
Sometimes
where
that's
am I
the
gonna
best
go?
time to just go for it.
But with regards to sort of getting yourself in the positive mindset, I think that a lot of people have a massive issue with that. And yeah, it is, sometimes it can totally be down to you to try things and try and get out of your comfort zone in order to, you know, break these boundaries that you've set for yourself. But
and you really did, though, didn't you? And when you got on that stage and when you got on, you must have thought, oh, listen, I'm just going to get over this. I'm just going to
little bit, yeah.
But when you heard that audience, you must have gone, whoa, what's going on?
It was remarkable for me. I mean, the reaction from people, I'd never, ever, ever could have expected something.
And
like
Simon.
that. Yeah, just it was
Did
so
you hear
nice.
what he said just before you came on as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Just when you think things couldn't get any worse, and you two
Yeah.
walked on, and then he had to eat Campbell pie, didn't he? Yeah.
And as fantastic as you are, and you were fantastic, you are fantastic. In the final, you came second, didn't you, to Pudsey? Was there a little bit of you that wanted to slightly kick the dog on the way out?
Never quit.
Never kick, but just a little...
I was just a little bit like...
bit of a hard pat.
You know,
But listen, you came first because everybody always votes for a dog.
Yeah.
So
the dog was fabulous. Pudsey's
That's not
fabulous.
the
We
point,
can't
no,
compare
no.
it to his voice.
Ashley is a lovely lady,
Yeah.
and Pudsey is a fantastic little dog.
And
I know, but
Charlotte,
fantastic
are you still
singer.
in touch with Charlotte now?
Yeah, of course.
Have you been working together lately on that?
No, we've not been working together. We sort of eventually
paths.
decided, that our paths were completely
different
like
ways.
separate. Really, she's more musical theatre. I'm more into the hard classics.
do you think it's harder for a duo to get work?
Yeah, it is. Partly because you have to sort of deal with two writers. But also, yeah, there's less material.
I was going
for
to say
a
you
duo
have to
sing.
find the songs.
Yeah,
don't you?
and by we did 2 albums together, and by the third, you know, looking into stuff, we were sort of realising there isn't actually that much
To do, yeah.
to do.
But
that
I
interests
think
us.
what you're fantastic about as well is that you've brought classical music to young people and people who go, ooh, boring classical music, and you're trying to go beyond that, aren't
trying
you?
very hard, yeah. I mean, I think that in general we're in for sort of a renaissance in the way that people perceive and create media in general. I
Yeah.
think that younger people are going to start listening to older and older stuff.
So what can we expect from this album? What music have you got on there? Is it covers or is it new stuff?
It's not all covers. There are original songs on there. I helped to write some of the lyrics to one of the tracks, A New Tomorrow. All in all, it's been 2 years since I released an album.
Yeah.
So over 2 years in a person's life, so much can happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been to so many crazy places and had so many crazy adventures. And not just as a person, but as a singer, I've grown so much and my voice has gotten so much stronger. And finally being able to, finally being able to put that down on a record and for people to be able to hear that is the most valuable thing to me. I love when I get feedback.
And you're only 21.
I know.
I'm 21.
And you can see it shining out of you, which is that. Now, we'll have to give you a really quick answer here, but would you say that love has done this for you? Because you've now got a lovely lady, haven't you, in your life?
There she is.
Is she part of the reason for this?
Yeah, absolutely. She's light of my life, honestly.
Oh, fantastic.
She actually lives in Canada. I went to visit her only recently. Yeah, I know. A little bit double-edged sword there, double-edged sword. But yeah, she's great. I love her.
We are really, really happy for you, and best of luck with the album as well.
We get some pretty fabulous guests here on Loose Women. There's plenty more where that came from. Just click here to watch more interviews with a whole range of famous faces. And click here to subscribe. It's free, so you'd be silly not to, really.